Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Boruto Was Neglected, Part 6, the end of this What If. So, yes, this is Part 6, and I am going to try to end off this What If. I know I might also do other Boruto What Ifs, like the older ones that I need to finish, not new ones. But yeah, other than that, what's it called? Let me begin into this What If, and let me shut the fuck up. So, we go into Boruto. Boruto's right now looking at his army. His army of, well, entities, monsters, and even, well, entities slash monsters, and also, well, his kind of mist village army. Was mostly called the White Mist of Death, because that's what he renamed it. But of course, he sees those ninjas under his league, and also rogue ninjas that used to be from a part of a different village, but he kind of like brought them here. So of course he sees them all, and everyone's ready to fight in this war, to kind of rule over it when it's finished. Of course, this is where everyone is getting excited, ready. This is where people are cheering, getting ready and all that. This is where, well, behind Boruto are 6 females. Sumari, Kurosuke, what's it called, Junko, Aba, Esdef, and, well, what's it called? Kyoki. Yeah, Kyoko. So, yeah. This is where, well, they are behind Boruto, but of course, behind them are, well, Demon, and, well, Demon is on, well, top of, well, Boruto, basically just getting a piggyback, right? Right now, to the left of Boruto is kind of Raijin, who is someone that's able to use the lightning cloak armor. And of course, to the right of Boruto is something that looks to be a scientist, but his face is kind of messed up to have like a purple eye, and his other eye being kind of like brownish a little bit. This is where, well, his hair is kind of like brown and kind of messy a little bit. Of course, Boruto is kind of right now speaking into the microphone, and of course talking about this world will be ours. The world will be under the White Mist of Death. No one will be able to stop us. This is war between all 4 great nations. We will destroy them all. We will take over this whole world. This is why Boruto is right now giving a speech. And of course, Boruto, even though he's 17, he looks to be older, way older than, well, not original canon because it hasn't really been predicted or anything. I'm just predicting this. Mostly what he would probably look like. Well, this is mostly a what if, but yeah. This is where, well, Boruto's giving a speech, and of course, this is where everyone is cheering. Yeah! Some of the entities and creatures are going, rah. You can't really tell what they're saying, but yeah, Boruto's the only one to know that. And to the left of him, he knows also. This is where, well, Boruto's smiling. This is where we go into, well, a time skip of a week. A week of, well, the 4 great nations mobilizing. Naruto is right now just angry, furious, but of course, he didn't expect his neglection of Boruto to go this far. He thought of just neglecting a little bit of Boruto because he thought Boruto wouldn't be that powerful or strong. All he saw in Boruto was kind of a weakling, someone that's too spoiled as a little brat to be a kid and all that. Hinata was the same. This is where they really didn't think that Boruto had the Byakugan or was was stronger or strong as Kawaki. So of course they're kind of shocked to see that Boruto starting a war. And now of course this is where, well, Naruto's right now still furious about his little princess dying against Boruto's hands. Like Boruto's shown no mercy. Instead he's showing evil grin. This is where, well, Kawaki's angry and is right now just trying, well, he kind of has like a robotic arm because yes. And of course it's like mixed with a bunch of robotic technology in it, just to absorb any chakra attacks that's thrown at him by Boruto. But then he realized that maybe those aren't chakra bases. So of course they're trying to just make something that will be able to kind of absorb any attacks. But yeah, this is where, well, Sasuke is right now training Sadara and how to train the Sharingan only for 1 week because they are, even even though it's just one nation that Boruto is under control, they don't know how many people is under control of that nation. This is where, well, Boruto has got news from, well, the Yakuza, that the other Yakuzas have gave information towards them from a high little price, like the money and all that, just to get information from all four great nations. Boruto, he already knows all their strategies. Boruto, he's like, interesting, so that's how the village works. This is gonna be so much interesting, so much easier than I thought. So where, well, we go into Kurumo Suchi is what's it called, the Stone Kage, and of course she's right now mobilizing her team because she did get information from Naruto about trying to destroy the Mist Village. Well, the new Mist Village called the White Mist of Death. Now they don't really know how to get through the White Mist because it's stronger and more deadlier than the normal mist. It's so white, but of course, even though it's white and they be able to kind of send a force, all the force will get killed with a virus that's in there. It has a disease that can kill and blind anyone that goes into that, well, mist. It's where, well, Gaara is trying to think, and even, well, the right Kage is trying to think. Now the right Kage is not a Moe, it's a fuck. Is it C? No, not C. C is the other guy. Wait. It's Al, right? I can't remember. Fuck. It's Darui. Darui, that's his name. So Darui is the Raikage, and of course they are all going and trying to mobilize, trying to get to the White Mist. Now, of course, they're right now on land, so they aren't really on water. They aren't really trusting to go on water. So of course, this is where a whole army is behind them. This is where, well, they are really tense. Multiple people are really tense. But some of them are kind of relaxed. Kakashi is there and even Might Guy. Might Guy, even though he has his leg kind of still broken, even though he used the 8 gates, he doesn't know if he will be able to use the 8 gates again. This is where Rock Lee, if Might Guy can't use the 8 gates, then he will use the final gate, the 8 gates of death, to fight against Sparta. Metal Lee is right next to his father. And of course, everyone is kind of next to, well, their parents or whatever, getting ready. This is where, well, they see nothing. But then they see something bubbling in water. This is where, well, Naruto's confused. He knows about the Three Tails being around here, but he's seen the Three Tails and the other tail beasts. They're kind of behind Naruto. They are willing to help Naruto. He even sees the Three Tails. This is where the Three Tails says, what is that? Don't know. That's where something happens to everyone. Everyone starts kind of like, they felt like this shock, the pain a little bit, but for some reason, some of them feel weak for some reason. Some of them, they're holding their swords, just getting ready, but then they feel like this weakness happening over them. This is where, well, they don't understand, but something bursts through the water. This is where, well, a kind of fish, it looked like a fish, a puffer fish, to have spikes around it, purple spikes, a gray kind of scales, and of course one eye. This is where it sends a laser beam straight towards all of them. This is where it cuts through almost the army. It just cuts through the army. Not killing that many, but just shoots through it. This is where a bunch of them have to dodge. Naruto, even though he felt this weakness, dodges it. This is where, well, so many people had to dodge, but some of them were unfortunate. This is where Naruto was confused. What the hell was that? This is where multiple smaller ones started jumping out of the water. This is where all of them, their scales are bluish. They're bluish, like turquoise bluish. And of course, their spikes are orange. This is where they have one eye and they all charge up their laser beams while they're kind of jumping and start sending them. And since they're not big as the, well, bigger one, it's just smaller. It just targets some, like 1, 2, or 3. This is where all ninjas are confused. This is where all of them goes through hand signs and says, Earth out, Earth wall! Even though they make an earth wall, the laser beam still manage to hit some people, but just randomly and not targeting them. This is where, well, multiple people are confused what the hell there are. This is where they jump back into water and kind of swim away. Boruto smiles when he saw that. When he saw that with his white eye, he said, everyone is wondering. Well, everyone is right now on their kind of spots to go on. This is where two boats appear from the white mist. This is where, well, Naruto got alerted, and this is where so many people are confused. Why two boats? Two boats that kind of look like marine ships, a little bit. They're not really marine ships, they're just ships entirely. This is where, well, they are kind of going and sailing and all that. And this is where, well, Naruto's confused. Could it be the Mist Village? It doesn't have the Mist symbol at all. This is where someone jumps in the air. Jumps straight up in the air. The sun is kind of blocking him a little bit, or mostly hitting him. And this is where so many people are trying to squint their eyes, and all they see is a man wearing a yellow tuxedo somewhat. Well, wearing kind of a yellow suit mostly. And of course, this person says light style, light beams, well, what's it called? Light. He said, Pika Pika no Mi, Yachisami no Matama. This is where he sent multiple light beams from his body straight towards, well, not from his body, from his, like, hand, because he put them, like, in a cross, his two hands, and, of course, put them, like, in OK sign, his two fingers, and, of course, he just sends multiple light beams at the stone wall, hitting multiple ninjas. This is where, Naruto was confused. What the hell is this guy? This is where the guy just transformed into light, smashing upon the stone wall, through the stone wall, appearing right in front of multiple stone ninjas. He said, "Oh, it seems that I'm here in this army." Well, no matter. He makes a light sword. The light sword is called, well, he says, Pika Pika no Mi, Amar Kamar Numero. This is where he pulls out a light sword and starts cutting through all these ninjas instantly. All of them are getting cut down easily. This is where he puts his leg into a light, transform his leg into a light kick, and he just smashes upon one person. It looks very slow, but the person flung back so fast in just the speed of light, smashing upon someone else. This is where he's saying, "Oh, I'm sorry for that. It wasn't my problem." This is where Sasuke appears, trying to attack, well, this person. This person is named Karu. This is where Karu was saying, "Oh, you're trying to attack me? That's very interesting. You must be the Uchiha." This is where Sasuke is trying to attack him. This is where he uses Amaterasu. This is where Kodo, or did I call him? You want to call him Kudo? Kudo just says, "Oh, you're trying to attack me." He kind of just switches his body into light and just disappears from the Amaterasu. This is where Sasuke was shocked. This is where Kudo appeared right behind. Well, Sasuke smashing a knee of light into Sasuke's back, smashing him into multiple ninjas. This is where some ninjas managed to catch Sasuke, but Sasuke was white in his eyes. This is where the other boat appears a person getting closer. This is where his body was transformed into magma first. He sent multiple magma fists into the sky, smashing upon these ninjas. This is where some of them are getting burned. This is where, well, what's it called? Kurusushi kind of makes through, she goes through hand signs and says, lava style, lava wall. This is where she makes a lava wall, and of course the lava punch just kind of hits the lava wall, kind of melting down, but really it's not affecting it much. But yeah, this is where Kurusuchi was wiping her eyes. This is where, well, he jumps up, and then he kind of jumps off the boat and smashes a magma punch straight towards Kurusuchi. This is where Kurusuchi had to make a very powerful earth punch. This is where she tries to just block the punch, but the magma is kind of burning through the earth. The earth kind of made it out of, well, mostly was on her hand, but yeah. This is where Kurusuchi went in her eyes. She didn't think this person was strong enough. This person is named, Magna. So yeah, his name is Magna. Magna saying, "You are not going to be able to defeat me. None of you will." He kind of throws Kurusuchi out of the way, smashing her upon, well, Gaara, but Gaara managed to grab her with sand. This is where, well, Gaara says, "So interesting. These two beings are right now destroying us pretty easily. Some of our ninjas cannot even affect them. It looks like they're able to just phase through their attacks by either transforming into their elements. One is light, one is magma. This is stupid enough." Gaara's getting angry. This is where Kurusuchi has never heard Gaara cuss, but she's kind of agreeing with Gaara. This is where, well, Dory is right now saying lightning style, black lightning lion. Well, not lion. Panther. He sends a Black Lightning Panther going straight towards, well, what's it called? Both Kudo and even Magna. But this is where something appears right in front of the Black Lightning, destroying it in an instant. Now, of course, this is where I did mention about Boruto kind of getting 3 devil fruits in the beginning. These 3 people kind of already got the devil fruits. Now, I don't remember what was the third one I kind of gave Boruto. You know what? The third one was the Rumble Rumble no Mi, meaning that someone has the lightning devil fruits. This is Raijin. Raijin, even though he had a lightning cloak armor, he is now, when he ate that devil fruit, his lightning became stronger. Not as strong as Boruto, but he just blocked the black lightning so easily. This is where he says, Lightning Dragon appears out of nowhere, from his hand mostly, and rushes towards. Well, Dari managed to dodge and says, damn, this is more difficult than we thought. 3 people is right now taking care of us most of the time. It's not even Boruto's whole army is there. This is where multiple ninjas from the boat starts rushing off of them, kind of rushing towards the other alliance, kind of mostly towards the sand and to the elite. This is where multiple ninjas are right now just fighting normal ninjas from the mist, but they're stronger than their previous counterparts because they all had an extra boost to their power from Boruto. Since they have been in the white mist of death for so long, for about 7 to 8 years, their bodies have taken immune system from the white mist, but their bodies have become way stronger from the white mist. This is where some of them can actually rip through some people, grabbing them from the head and ripping off their head. This is where multiple people are kind of like winding their eyes, but this is where people are sending like attacks. This is where the mist ninjas that are from the white mist kind of sends their own water attacks smashing through them. But of course, their water attacks are kind of a darker color. They're like this dark sea blue color. They're not a lightish blue. But of course, this is where they are way stronger than their water attacks, normal water attacks. This is where, some people are getting destroyed from the other villages. And this is where, Kakashi appears saying, lightning style, lightning, lightning spikes. This is where, he sends the lightning spikes. And of course, some of them gets, kind of electrified and gets knocked the fuck out. Or mostly killed. This is where some of the, alliance with that person kind of gets angry and says, why you bastard, you killed Jack. You want me to call him Jack? Because I am not thinking of someone's name, but yeah. This is where, Kakashi's dodging a punch. And this is where he doesn't have his Sharingan, but he's still strong enough. He sends a purple lightning, purple Raikiri strike. This is where he stabs a, not strike, mostly a lightning attack straight towards one of the, mist ninjas. And this is where he gets killed in an instant. This is where Kakashi can see some of them are kind of weakness towards lightning jutsus, because yes, they are from the mist. This is where, Kakashi was about to send another attack towards one of those ninjas until he had to dodge a needle. A very thin needle. This is where he dodges it, and this is where the girl says, damn it, I missed. So annoying. This is where her hair is very long. She's also very thin. And of course, this is where, this is, the girl that had the needle in, like, original canon. In Boruto, mostly. This is where she's saying, damn, I missed him. This is where, next to her was the guy that's very big. Now, he's bigger this time because he is now 17 or something. And of course, this is where, he's like, maybe next time don't miss him. You could have easily killed a very legend. If I can remember right, he's Kakashi, the copy ninja of 1,000 jutsus. Well, his Sharingan, he's no less of a man. This is where, the girl says, I already know that, shut up. This is where, he says, he then rushes at Kakashi with blinding speed. Kakashi didn't expect someone this big to be that fast. This is where he sends the hammer down straight towards Kakashi. Kakashi managed to dodge, but underneath him started rumbling. This is where that ability from the hammer still has the ability to affect the enchantment. This is where, Kakashi widened his eyes. And this is where he had to dodge a strike from the axe. This is where, he managed to dodge, and of course, this is where my guy appears saying, "You fire." What's it called? Not fire. He says, "You well, the youth of." Oh wait, fuck. I'm trying to think. My guy says, "Youthful kick!" Hits the guy in the face, but of course the guy wasn't affected. This is where he sends a backhand strike towards my guy. My guy could not dodge it and smashes into the wall. This is where he said, "Damn it." Yeah, very interesting. You might have the youth right now, young fella. The guy says, "That kick was annoying." This is where the girl says, "I guess I'll go against, well, Kakashi." This is where Kakashi says, "You think I'll be, affected by you? You might be fast, but you're not that strong, are you? You're just flexible and easily being able to dodge some attacks. So I hope you can dodge this." This is where paper tags appear below her. This is where she says, "Ah, shit." This is where, before Kakashi was about to do the hand sign, the paper tags just did it. This is where, the girl says, "Oh, you're here finally." This is where a guy with the explosion sword says, "I always have to protect you from any explosion tags. Seriously?" This is where, she says, "Well, thank you then." This is where, This is where Kyoho says, the big dude. Now, I just had to search up their names because, for fuck's sake, I'm not going to keep saying their names. This is where Kyoho had to dodge an attack from, my guy. My guy says, "Kakashi, are you okay?" Kakashi says, "Yeah, I am." Because Kakashi had to do dodge an explosion tag below him. This is where he wiped his eyes. This is where he had to dodge an explosion tag from Ichirota, and this is where Ichirota says, "I guess it was my turn." She then throws her mostly Senbons at, both Kakashi and Maika, and they had to dodge. This is where Kakashi still had to dodge a giant needle. He gets a cut mark near his cheek. This is where, he then feels kind of weak. This is where Ichirota says, "Yes, I got him." This is where Ichiro says, "I guess you did get him. Now it's my turn." He sends multiple explosions at, Kakashi and, my guy. They had to keep dodging. Some of the explosions that hit Ichirota, and Ichirota was getting stronger and stronger. This is where he says, "Hibachi, Kosashi, move." This is where they both jump away, and this is where Kakashi and my guy were confused, but this is where Kakashi started feeling weaker. And this is where my guy said, "Are you okay?" This is where Ichirota says, "Explosion nuke style." This is where he hits the ground in front of him. Everything in front of him, a green radius blast just blows up everything. This is where a huge, radius of blast was heading straight towards the Alliance army, blowing them up awesome. This is where, both Kakashi and my guy gets hit to the wall really hard. Kakashi down. Kakashi's trying to stand up. He then sees Ren. But this is where Hichibara was right now in front of him. This is where she says, "Aw, seems like your dad died." She then kind of pierced the needle into the heart and just kind of gets it out. This is where Kakashi substitute and appear right behind her and says, "Surprise, Chidori." This is where she was about to get Chidori until Kurisuke appears. Lightning style, golden lightning slashes. This is where Kakashi didn't see that speed and he dies. This is where Hebechigara says, Hebechigara says, "Kurisuke." This is where Kurisuke says, "How many times have I told you to stop letting your guard down?" This is where Hebechigara says, "I'm sorry." This is where, my guy says, "Kakashi, no!" Fifth gate of, I think it was View, open, or no, Joy, open. This is where, he rushes at Kurisuke with blinding speed. This is where he was about to punch Kurisuke until Kurisuke dodges the attack, managing to do it. She almost did get hit. She kind of gets scratched in the cheek. This is where Hachimura says, "Kurisuke." Kurisuke says, "I'm fine." This is where my guy says, he said, what's it called? 6 gates, 7 gates, open. This is where, he opens it and rushes to, Kurisuke. Kurisuke couldn't dodge. This is where before Might Guy was able to punch Kurosuke. His legs still hurt it, but of course he fight through the pain. This is where someone appears, blocking that punch, grabbing Might Guy's punch and twisting it. This is when Might Guy screams in pain. Kurosuke opens her eyes, and it's none other than Boruto. Boruto is right now wearing a tuxedo someone. He's wearing, not really a tuxedo, he's wearing his black scientist coat lookalike. And of course, he's wearing the black shirt and all that. This is where Boruto says, Kurosuke, are you okay? Kurosuke says, I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. You're one of my, precious. How can I not worry about you? Boruto is still holding on to Might Guy. Might Guy tries to kick at Boruto. Boruto kind of like puts his leg up in the air and axe kicks Might Guy's leg that was trying to kick at Boruto down with the axe kick, crushing the leg. This is where Might Guy screamed out in pain. This is where Kakashi says, White Lightning obliteration. He's still holding on to Kakashi, Might Guy's hand, and Might Guy just gets obliterated with White Lightning in his body. Just gets nothing but just obliterated. That's where Kurosuke says, I'll be fine. You don't need to worry about me. What about the others? Don't you need to worry about them? Boruto says, I guess so. Just remember, you're still the Mizukage, so I gotta worry about you. Kurosuke says, aren't you? You bastard. He disappeared already. This is where let me say that again. Habichiko says, very interesting. You really like him a lot. Are you going to have his This is where, before she can even say anything, she had to dodge a punch from her, leader. This is where she said, I'm kidding. This is where Ichiro and even what's it called, Kuroso is right now walking near them. I don't remember his name, so I'm calling him Kurosho. This is where, they're going towards where Kurosuke's at. And this is where they say, so, what happened? This is where Kurosuke says, just our leader happened. This is where, Ichiro and even Kojiro says, you mean you, right? This is where both of them had to dodge a strike from their leader. This is where they say, I'm just kidding. We know it's Boruto. Jesus Christ, they're trying to kill us. We're in the middle of a battle right now. Kurosuke's annoyed with them. This is where, Bootleg Kisame is right now sending a water wave of attacks straight towards the army, smashing them into, the ocean. This is where multiple sharks are right now eating them. But of course, the Guardians that are right now circling around the white mist is kind of protecting it. This is where, they will only go out there just in case their leader Sama needs them. But Boruto is only telling the Guardians to kind of protect the water because they know what he knows about the Three Toes might want to go down there and try to fight them. The Three Toe, he sent a Biju bomb straight towards the white mist ninjas. This is where, that Biju bomb was about to hit the white mist ninjas until Boruto appears saying Black Void. This is where Black Void appears and just absorbs the Biju bomb. This is where multiple Biju bombs started getting sent straight towards him. Boruto, he erases them all in an instantly. White lightning pierce. This is where he sends a lightning spear straight towards the Biju bombs, and they just exploded. Just explode into chakra. They just went through it, and this is when one of the strikes of the spears hit Shikaku, and Shikaku just exploded into nothing but chakra. He now has to wait 4 years until reforming. This is where the others widen their eyes. They didn't expect someone that powerful to just explode one of the Bijus like that. This is where, from the looks of that white lightning spear, Naruto realized it's Boruto, and he didn't expect Boruto to just defeat a Jinchuriki, or not even Jinchuriki, a tail beast that easily. He knows that white lightning is very deadly. He knows that he has to dodge it. But he doesn't know how. It seems the white lightning can be very extremely fast or very slow. So Kurama's saying, we need to stop him. If he can defeat, Bijus like that, how are we ever going to stop him? That's where Naruto says, I know, I fucked up. Kurama says, fucked up? You screwed over the whole war, you fucking moron. This is where Naruto says, I know. Jesus Christ, I need to think of something. I need to stop him. Try good luck in that. That's where Ava is right now, just dodging some of the ninjas that's attacking her. But this is where Demon appears, saying, spread full counter. This is where he kills them all in an instantly with her own attacks. This is where Ava says, very interesting, damn it. I didn't actually expect you to kind of learn something like that. Well, Big Brother always told me something like that. Or should I say, your husband always told me. This is where Ava tries to punch him. This is where Damon says, calm down, sis. Don't calm down. I'm just kidding. This is where, well, Ava's getting annoyed, saying, shut up. This is where, well, Damon says, I really didn't expect you to kind of be very embarrassed from that. I thought you would like it. This is where Ava says, shut up, okay? Shut up. This is where one ninja tries to attack her. This is where she says, like I said, I don't want to talk about this right now. This is where Damon says, sis, is it really that hard for you to choose? I mean, you can choose Kawaki, you can choose Boruto. Maybe choose Boruto. Boruto's way nicer than that bastard of his brother. This is where Ava says, I'm not talking about Kawaki. This is where she punches behind her, smashing her fist into one of the ninjas, knocking that ninja out. It was mostly a dude, and the dude was called. This is where Demon says, that's very strong, sis. This is where Ava says, I didn't mean to. God damn it, you're annoying me. This is where Demon says, why, sis? You said you always will love me. This is where, well, Ava says, of course I will always love you. This is where Demon says, then again, you will probably even love more Boruto, well, Big Brother. This is where, well, Ava says, shut up. This is where Demon says, calm down, sis. This is where Ava's trying to kill Demon. Demon is running. This is where Demon is going through ninjas very easily, and Ava's trying to get to him, but of course she has to knock out some ninjas while trying to get him. This is where Demon says, shit. But yeah, we go into a kind of fight between two Kunoichis. This is where somebody is laughing at, well, Sadara. This is where Sadara has her MS. Right now, just saying, you bitch. So I see you betray Konoha just to be with that goddamn bastard. Blonde hair bastard. This is where somebody says, oh, at least I'm not with the, what's it called? Well, at least I'm not with a bastard named Kawaki. I'm not into him anyway. This is where, well, Sadara says, at least I'm not a fucking whore to be right next to that fucking bastard betrayer to kill Hinawari, you fucking bitch. This is where, well, somebody says, oh, I did hear about that from Boruto. It must have been so exciting. It must have been very excited that he was able to kill her. This is where Sadara says, you bitch. You really would support Boruto in mass genocide, wouldn't you? Nothing but a goddamn slut. This is where somebody appears trying to kick Sadara. This is where Sadara dodges. This is where somebody says, oh, I'm not. Which, I will support him anytime. I'll support him at all. Guess what? I'm much stronger than you. And much quicker. This is where Sadara says, well, that fucking outfit's very annoying. You look like nothing but a... This is where, well, before she was able to say anything, a kick appears trying to hit her in the face. This is where she had to dodge. This is Samari's speed. Her speed is incredible. This is where Samari says, oh, shut up. At least I'm not a slow bitch like you. You clearly can't dodge my attacks most of the time. And besides, I'm not even going at full speed. This is where, well, Sadara says, you bitch. I'll show you who's not going full speed. Fire Star, Fire Phoenix. This is where she sends a Phoenix attack at Samurai. Samurai says, water style. Water, what's called stream. What's called piercing, piercing style. This is where she sends a water style, just pierces through the Phoenix, almost hitting Sadara. Sadara has to dodge. This is where she then, Samurai says, water style. Water, hyper stream. This is where, well, the stream of the water was just very high pressure that it cut through almost anything that Sadara tried to throw at Earth style or anything like that. This is where, well, Sadara says, damn it, I can't lose to this. This is where Sadara says, Susanoo! She makes that pinkish reddish Susanoo again, and this is where she sends one of the arms straight towards Samurai. Samurai has to dodge. So Samurai says, very interesting, didn't expect you to be like that. This is where, for some reason, white snakes appear, grabbing Samurai. Samurai says, damn it. This is where, well, Mitsuki says, are you okay, Sadara? Sadara says, I am okay. This bitch is nothing but just annoying me. Mitsuki says, calm down. Besides, we can stop her. We just have to kill her. This is where, well, somebody says, oh, you think you can kill me? Pathetic for you to actually think that, Mitsuki. I really, really would thought that you would actually betray Konoha and all that. It might have went rogue. I did hear about that, and can't believe they actually accepted you. If I would have went rogue, they would have never accepted me. And so where, well, Mitsuki says, whatever. I will not let you, well, hurt Sadara. Was she your kind of girlfriend? That's where Sadara says, no. He's my teammate. A better friend and teammate than your loser of a. This is where, before she even said anything, this is where both Mitsuki and Sadara had to dodge a slash. Slash is attack from, well, two dark beings. This is where, well, they don't know what these are, and this is where these two other dark beings appear. Slashing, well, mostly a dark being with four hands appear, ripping the snakes off of Summer. And this is where they put a dark crown with a purple kind of like diamond or whatever kind of jewels on that crown, floating right and kind of around Summer. This is where Summer, she did activate her power, and this is where her eyes, instead of being just a white dot in the middle, kind of became purple, and around the white kind of just became like what's it called? Well, then it became a darkish purple, but yeah, mostly in the middle of the white eye. This is why somebody says, it seems that this is the power that Boruto gave me. Enderman, the Queen of Enderman, if I can remember right. Or Ender Queen. I like the Ender Queen a lot. Get him, boys. This is where the Enderman appears, trying to just teleport and slash at, well, Mitsuki and Sadara. Sadara went her eyes. She doesn't know what these are, and she can't even sense them with chakra. Mitsuki is right now using what's called Lightning Snake to try to hit them, but they dodge very easily. That's where Sumari is laughing and saying, oh, you think my boyfriend is such a loser? Ha! I really think that you're a fucking loser, Sadara. You can't even hurt me much. You're such a loser. This is where Sadara is getting angry. She didn't think that Boruto would give what's called Sumari with this much of a gift. This is where, well, Sadara says, at least I'm not going to kind of die here. Sadara appears saying, Susanoo Blade! This is where a red tonto Susanoo appear. Well, mostly the blade and the arm. And this is where it was about to hit Sumari. Sumari says, you really are annoying, Sadara. This is where before she even lifted up her hand, the blade just gets cut in half so easily that even Sadara gets kicked away. This is where, well, Boruto says, interesting. I didn't expect you to go into that form, or mostly become the queen of it. This is where Sumari says, Boruto. Boruto says, hey. This is where, well, Sumari kind of hugs him and says, thank you for the gift. I love it. This is where Boruto says, glad you do. Glad you love it. This is where Sumari says, I should probably stop hugging you. Oh, why? We're in the middle of a battle. We can't do this. Not right now. This is where her face is kind of purple. Very darkish purple. This is where, well, Boruto says, oh, come on. Fine. Who's going to try to attack us? This is where Mitsuki appears. This is where Mitsuki has to dodge the Enderman and rushes towards Boruto. This is where he has his own blade intending to kind of pierce Boruto. Boruto sees this, and what Boruto does is nothing. Instead, one of the Endermen with the four arms appear. This is a mutant Enderman. This is where he has all four blades blocking the sword of, well, Mitsuki. This is where Mitsuki winds his eyes. This is where the Enderman extending his mouth up and trying to eat Mitsuki's head off. This is where Mitsuki has dodged and says, damn it. This is where Sadara gets up. This is where Mitsuki says, are you okay? Yeah, I am. Damn it. I didn't expect you to be here, Boruto. She says, so much venom in her voice. This is where Boruto says, well, didn't expect me here, Uchiha Pathetic. I didn't expect, well, you might not expect me, but I'm always here. Just kind of going around. Saving those I love. Protecting those I care. Guess what? It's just like the same thing you pathetic ninjas think about. But at least I have the power to protect them. You, on the other hand, don't have any of it. Sadara gets angry and says, I'll show you what I don't have. She makes a Susanoo, a perfect Susanoo, even though she's using way too much of her, what's it called, eyes. She was told by her father not to use that much of it. Even though she has only, well, she does have EMS, because Sasuke and her did switch. But this is where, well, she's using way too much chakra. And this is where she says, I'll crush you, you bastard. that her Susanoo doesn't look like a armored Susanoo. Let me show you what it kind of looks like. But yeah, this is where Sadara's Susanoo looks like to be perfect, and of course, this is where she's on top of the head mostly because yeah. This is where Boruto laughs and says, "That's interesting, Sadara. That's a very powerful Susanoo you have there." This is where Mitsuki appears, trying to attack Boruto off guard. That's where Boruto looks at this. This is where, well, his Shogun appears. This is where he says, "White hole, blast." This is where a white hole appears, blasting Mitsuki with a force that's so powerful, smashing him across multiple ninjas, killing him instantly. This is where Sadara says, "Mitsuki, you bastard, I'm going to kill you." Boruto laughs and says, "That's good to know till you want to kill me. Let me show you my Susanoo." Now, Sadara's Susanoo is not as big as Madara's Susanoo. It's kind of bigger. It's kind of like big as what's called, well, Sasuke's Susanoo, perfect Susanoo. Not like perfect where he has all 9 Biju. No, not like that. But it's still kind of big. So where Boruto says, "Let me show you my Susanoo." Susanoo, Boruto said. This is where Boruto's Susanoo started kind of building up and becoming bigger than it's ever been. It's bigger than Madara's Susanoo. It's white, and I should mention what it looks like. So yeah, this is what Boruto's Susanoo looks like: a white being with kind of bluish eyes, and of course having this on top of it. But yeah, of course, this is where Sadara says, How can you even have that?" Boruto says, "Easy. With the Jogan being something called the God's Eyes, I can do anything that well, Sharingan can do. Now, prepare to die." This is where Boruto, instead of his Susanoo having, well, 2 pair of arms, it has, well, 6 arms in total. 3 on the side and 3 on the other side. This is where, well, weapons appear on, well, Boruto's Susanoo. Now, it doesn't have wings, as you mentioned, but weapons appear. This is where one of the arms has a spear, one of them has a mace, another one has a shield, well, mostly the middle one. The mace is kind of below that 3rd right arm, but yeah. This is where, well, the other one, the left arm, one of them has a tanto. Well, 2 of them has tantos. Mostly the 3rd on the bottom arms of the left and right has, well, 2 tantos. Not, you know what? It's not 2 tantos. It's, in the middle of the arms are 2 large katanas. The below is kind of a mace. The other one is kind of like a bow a little bit, like an arrow bow or anything. Crossbow, I should mention. The on top of the arm of the left arm is kind of, well, a shield, like some kind of like, well, not shield. It mostly looks like some kind of like canister. It looks like a vase a little bit, and the other one looks to be a shield. This is where, well, Boruto says, "So, let's see if we can dodge this." His 2 swords glow in 2 different colors. One glow into extremely hot temperature of red, and the other one kind of froze into just being a very, very cold temperature. Boruto says, "Inferno," what's it called? He says, "Infernal Hell, Frozen Palace." This is where he slashes at, well, Sadara, and this is where her Susanoo wasn't strong enough and just gets cut. This is where Sadara feels like her body just got burned and froze at the same time. This is where, well, Boruto looks at Sadara. Sadara is falling down. Sadara says, "Damn it, I wish I could even save you. Don't worry." That's where, well, somebody says, "You know what? I should kill her." That's where, well, a dragon appears behind Sumire, she says, "Ender breath." This is where, well, she burns Sadara's body entirely. This is where Kawaki sees it, and he screams out, "No!" He rushes at Sumire. Boruto notices, and this is where the Ender Dragon appears right behind Sumire, and Sumire kind of jumps on it, and Sumire is right now flying away. This is where Kawaki says, "You bitch." This is where Boruto says, "Ah, brother, how's it been?" This is where Kawaki is angry. Boruto gets out of his Susanoo. But of course, this is where, well, he then makes an avatar Susanoo. It looks like to have no rider in the, what's it called, top of it. This is where the Susanoo just goes about 5 feet away from Boruto, killing the ninjas. This is where, well, Boruto is saying, "So, Kawaki, how's it been?" This is where Kawaki gets angry, rushes at Boruto with blinding speed, trying to kick at him. Boruto dodges and says, "Whoa, you're getting angry right now, aren't you?" Kawaki says, "You killed her. You're nothing but a monster." His arm that was right now built to have technology sends a huge blast at Boruto. Boruto, who's not even affected. And behind Boruto, there's like the two craters of blast, but behind him is standing clearly just the ground, just clear. Boruto did get point blast, but Boruto seems to be unaffected by it. Boruto's laughing. That's where Boruto sends a kick straight towards not Boruto, Kawaki, who is still in the middle of the air, getting hit in the face, smashing him upon, well, the earth. This is where, well, Boruto says, "I'm sorry, Kawaki. Are you so angry that I killed Hinawara? Are you so angry that I killed your girlfriend? Do you think I care that much?" This is where Kawaki says, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill everyone. I'm going to enjoy killing your fucking loved ones." Boruto smiles and says, "Well, that's too interesting for me. Well, that's if you can." That's where something happens. Something before Boruto is about to kill Kawaki with a lightning Chidori. This is where something appears right in front of him, smashing upon. This is where Kawaki kind of gets blasted away, but this is where his arm gets grabbed. This is Bargain Naruto, who appear. Yes, Naruto gets this sweet deal from Kurama about how he can kind of go into a Bargain mode. This is where the other Bijus, even Shikaku, who managed to kind of slip into, well, Naruto, told him that they can give him the power to go into this Bargain mode. So this Bargain mode, instead of just being red, is colorful, with a bunch of colors. Now, of course, they are all doing it, well, they're all kind of inside, well, still inside of, well, Naruto. Mostly they all gave him its powers to get into Naruto, and Boruto is seeing, well, a nine Biju Bargain mode. This is where, well, Naruto says, "Kawaki, go now, help the others." Kawaki says, "But, Kawaki now." This is where he says, "Yes, father." This is where he runs. This is where Boruto says, "Interesting. Susanoo?" Susanoo just disappears. And Naruto says, "Am I going to be fighting against you, father?" Naruto's smiling. Now, of course, I should mention that Boruto even has a crack of his right eye open. Boruto is just looking at Naruto with one eye, the Jogamoshi. This is where, well, Naruto says, "I'm going to end this. I'm going to end this war. One way or another, you won't be able to defeat me, son." This is where, well, he has venom in that tone. Boruto says, "Son? Son? You never even call me son. You think you can call me the fuck right now? That word? I call you a bastard. You fucking disgust me. The fact that you think I'm your goddamn son. You are no one to me. You went dead a long time ago when you fucking abandoned me. Never trained me, never teach me anything. You think I'm gonna care? Hell no, I don't care about you." This is where Naruto rushes at Boruto at blind speed, sending a strong ass punch straight towards Boruto's face. Boruto gets hit and gets like sent into multiple walls. This is where, well, Junko is right now talking to Kyoko, and they're right now fighting against ninjas, easily killing them so easily. Of course, they're having to dodge like some of the Kage's attack. And so where, well, it just freezes a lot of people, and right now killing them so easily with the frozen temperature. But yeah, Kurisuke is using lightning style. This is where, well, somebody is using, well, lightning, well, not lightning, mostly fire breath, dragon fire breath, and even something out Null that's pretty big and killing a bunch of ninjas. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto is right now fighting against Boruto. Right now sending so many powerful hits. Using its 9 tails to just grab onto Boruto and start sending them haymakers. This is where Boruto is getting just kicked, punched, smashed into the ground, slammed into it. This seems to be a hopeful fight, a hopeful victory. Finally killing Boruto. Boruto just smashed into so many walls. Some of his organs did explode. This is where some of the nuclear radius is right now killing Boruto. This is where Boruto, he smashed into so many places. This is where, well, Boruto is sent into multiple walls, just cut, stab, with multiple attacks and Kagegenkai's blast by, well, Naruto. This is where, well, Naruto also sent multiple Rasengan's attacks straight towards Boruto. Boruto did not absorb them. This is where something happens before Boruto could even get up a little bit. He was coughing up. This is where, well, he was coughing up just cough. This is where Naruto thought that he was coughing up blood, but it wasn't blood. This is where something happens before that. Multiple Utsutsukis appear. This is where, well, an Utsutsuki crown appears. This is where he laughed and said, so this is planet Earth. I guess this is a world where Kage must have been an Ishiki. But I can't sense them. Now that they're dead already. Pathetic. They are. This is where Boruto looks up and sees this is the Utsutsuki King. Now, Boruto did cough, you know, I did say that he didn't cough up blood, but it was blood. This is where Naruto says, damn it, more Utsutsuki. Sasuke seeing this. This is where multiple people are seeing this and say, damn it, there's a lot of them. There's a ton of them in the sky. Boruto is looking at this kind of fight and saying, so interesting. Am I really going to die from the nuclear radiation? Damn. That's where before Boruto can even walk, Naruto appears subbing his hand, seeing Boruto being more of a threat than the Utsutsukis, killing Boruto, grabbing his arm and crushing it. That's where, well, Boruto dies. Pah. He smashes to the ground. Every girl kind of felt it. That's where multiple entities felt it. But they weren't worried that much. Somebody in the other says, Boruto, no! This is where the Utsutsuki Sen attacked. This is where Boruto felt the attacks. This is where, well, Boruto might have his heart taken out. But this is where they hear laughter. Everyone froze. Everyone froze. In the whole battle, it froze. Everyone was shocked. Naruto was shocked. Boruto stood up, even having a huge gap in his, chest, and having no heart. Boruto was laughing like a maniac. This is where Boruto cracks, opened his eye, his right eye, showing the full display of the white blank eye. That's something that, well, Naruto never thought of seeing on his son. He doesn't even know what this is. Instead, the Jogan just kind of still stays at the Jogan, but becomes more brighter, much stronger in its abilities. This is where the heart, the beeping, well, mostly the, beating heart that Naruto has on his hand, is still there. Instead, Boruto's heart started just reforming, but not into the normal kind of fleshy heart, becoming kind of blue and beeping like if it was a diamond heart. This is where, well, it appears on, well, Boruto's kind of like replacement of the heart. This is where, well, his kind of flesh wounds, that was kind of the giant hole, kind of repairs itself. This is where Boruto appears right in front of Naruto, smashing a very powerful kick into Naruto's stomach. Naruto goes, smashing into multiple walls. This is where Boruto says, pathetic. I'll deal with you later. This is where Naruto, he appears right from the Utsutsuki King. This is where the Utsutsuki King just sees nothing but a blank white eye in the Jogan. This is where he doesn't know what that is. The Jogan decides to just evolve entirely, becoming something much greater than anything it was. It became the Jogan, well, the running Jogan. Yes, it has Tomoe's to kind of show to be a running Jogan now. This is where the Utsutsuki King didn't expect that to happen. Boruto says black hole absorbment. This is where he absorbs the Utsutsuki King in an instant with a black hole, destroying his body. This is where the Utsutsuki started rushing at Boruto. Boruto, he made multiple blades appear all around him, white blades. But some of them were stone blades, smashing upon all these Utsutsukis. Some of them getting obliterated into nothing, and some of them just turning into stone. Boruto then made two swords. One was the Diamond Reaper that he had, and the other one being a Diamond Scythe. He's cutting through the Utsutsukis like nothing, killing them instantly. Boruto's dancing in the air. Boruto seems to be able to fly. Boruto's not carrying that much. This is where Boruto summoned out of nowhere TNT, exploding so many Utsutsukis, killing them. This is where, well, so many people are winding their eyes. They know about the the struggle against what's called Madara, who was in Jubi, but this is just horrible. They didn't expect God to appear, so many of them. Mostly because, yes, Kage was supposed to be like God or being or whatever. And, of course, the Utsutsuki don't refer to themselves as gods, but so many of them getting killed in an instant. That's where Boruto's easily killing them so easily. Before Boruto can end them all off, that's where a girl says, "Stop!" Boruto, who is right now about to kill an Utsutsuki, who right now kind of pee himself, because all them Utsutsuki that were kind of higher ups kind of die. Even the Utsutsuki King. Zora Boruto, he kind of pushed this person away and looked towards where that voice came from. A young, kind of this kind of like lavender hair a little bit, but also kind of being a palish white a little bit. Hair and kind of like having the Byakugan eyes, but being kind of more whitish. Kind of said it. This girl is kind of an Utsutsuki. She is, well, she kind of looks very young. This is where Boruto says, "Who are you? And why should I care about not stopping and killing your fucking people?" This is where, well, her name, she says, "Stop. Stop this. My name is, what's it called?" She says, her name is Ezra Utsutsuki. This is where, well, Boruto says, "And why should I care?" This is where she says, "You kill all the, what's it called, the upper head of the Utsutsukis. You don't need to kill anymore. We're all lower rank here." That's where she kind of stands behind a bunch of lower rank Utsutsukis that are right now scared of Boruto. That's where she then also explains that you kill, well, the king of Utsutsukis, somewhat my father. That's where Boruto says, "And why should I care? You people are here to conquer the planet. I'm here to just destroy all of you." This is where Ezra says, "You're not listening to me. I'm here to kind of ask for you not to kill us. As a mercy, please. We're not here to actually fight. We're mostly forced. Every lower clan head was kind of forced to kind of be here to kind of fight against you. This is where, well, or mostly against this planet and try to take it over." This is where Boruto says, "So you're telling me that you want to make a peace treaty against this world?" Yes. You realize that we're in the middle of a war right now. Your Utsutsuki people came here fighting to kind of take over a weak planet. Right now, this is a war. I'm trying to take over the planet anyway. This is where Ezra says, "Oh, then we can help you." This is where Boruto says, "Nah, I'd rather not." What to do? What kind of peace treaty should we do? Ezra says, "Marriage?" Boruto says, "Actually, I don't even know if that's even possible. Our genes are completely different from each other." This is where Ezra says, "I'm just saying, please just don't kill any of us no more." Her hair might be kind of palish, as we mentioned. It was lavender and palish, but also kind of having a little bit of like, how should I say? Kind of like bluish highlights a little bit, like lightish neon blue highlights. This is where, well, Boruto says, if you really want the marriage happening, I guess that will happen. This is where Ezra says, "Really? Sure. Just come back later when I conquer this planet later on." This is where Boruto dodges an attack from Naruto. This is where Naruto says, "I'm not letting you take over this planet. I'm not even letting you even have fucking marriage with the Utsutsukis." This is where Boruto says, "Rude of you to do that." Boruto, he dodges the attack, but this is where he sends a back kick, sending back Naruto straight to the ground, smashing him upon. This is where, well, that's where I say, that felt like the Jubi's power, because it is. Just not really. It's kind of 9 split. He's not really fusing the Jubi power together. So it's really just split into 9 tails. Or 9 Bijus, if that's what you like to call them. He's using a form called Bargain form. I don't really know. I don't really care. But you can come back later. This is where Ezra kind of nodded. That's where she told all her men to start leaving. That's where multiple ninjas started sending attacks, but that's where Boruto blocked them all and sent them back down, destroying a bunch of them. That's where Ezra sees how powerful Boruto is, and can see that he could have easily wiped out the Utsutsuki race. That's where she is kind of scared, fearing a little bit of Boruto's kind of personality, but at the same time, kind of liking his strength a little bit. Now, this is where Ezra goes back to the planet of the Utsutsuki, but yeah. This is where she was kind of called the queen of the Utsutsuki now, but yeah. Since she is the strongest out of all of them. But this is where Boruto, he then fights against his father. Sasuke is trying to fight against, well, trying to get towards Boruto, but this is where Raijin appears. Right now in a lightning armor, about to hit Sasuke. Sasuke is using his Susanoo, but this is where Raijin, he appears to become a lightning, what's it called, god. This is where both Sasuke and that lightning god are fighting. This is where Sasuke has to dodge a giant lightning beam from the sky. This is where Sasuke makes a meteor, but he makes a lightning ball, crushing the meteor, kind of just destroying it. And Sasuke gets kicked up to that ball, getting into that ball, and just getting zapped and erased from existence. This is where Raijin says, pathetic. This is where Raijin appears fighting against Darwin and easily killing Darwin. This is where he's fighting against the other people. But yeah, of course, this is where Killer Bee tried to fight him, but that didn't work out because he easily gets killed. This is where Kuro and even what's called Magna has been fighting, burning through them, or even sending laser beams. But yeah, this is where Samurai and the others have been just easily killing. But yeah, Kawaki can see that they are losing. This is where Kawaki says, no, I won't lose. This is where before he even sends a very powerful attack, Demon appears saying, reflection. This is where the blast kills. Well, Kawaki died. Demon says, you see here, sis, I'll protect you anytime soon. Ava says, I'm so happy. This is where, well, they just see up in the sky, just Naruto, right now, just on a kind of like mountain. This is where he's very weak. Boruto, who doesn't seem to even have a face scratch on his face or anything, a crown started appearing on top of his head. This is where it's a black obsidian crown, and this is where he summoned out a new Genkai, obsidian style, obsidian spikes. This is where obsidian spikes appear so fast, stabbing into Naruto so fast. This is where Naruto says, damn it, how can I not be able to defeat you? Boruto says, because you're pathetic, and you will never be able to do that. Boruto pulls out a diamond scythe, but of course the handle of the scythe is kind of made of obsidian. Boruto says, but here it comes anyway. The diamond scythe turns into a white blade instead, and this is where Boruto says, God Slayer scythe. This is where he slays Naruto in an instant, killing him, erasing Naruto from existence entirely, destroying Naruto and the bee juice entirely together, just destroying him in an instant, just cutting him once with the scythe. The scythe disappears, and Boruto smiles at everyone. Everyone is kind of cheering. This is where they go and take over the leftover villages that has civilians in it, and some clan heads and other things, killing them and, well, taking it over. This is where we go into fast forward. Boruto is now about, well, 24. He kind of had children with, well, his 7 kind of brides, and even, well, Ezra, because she's one of the 7. This is where Ezra didn't expect Boruto to kind of take her on. This is where, well, Boruto did have children, and of course this is where, well, with Samurai he had 2 children, both of them having different color of hair, mostly purple and yellowish, but of course their eyes were much powerful because they were able to use, well, somewhat the Jogan eye. This is where, well, with Ava, he had about 1 child who had blue hair and kind of yellowish hair at the same time, and some green highlights, but yeah. Of course, he had the power to be able to see everything, and I mean everything, even the Jogan he had. He had it mostly on his forehead, and of course, well, he didn't mind. He was able to see everything, and he was much powerful. This is where, well, we then go on to, well, Junko, who Boruto had 1 child, and this child was able to kind of use a lot of things, and of course use kind of a very powerful ability that can actually make a lot of people fear this person, or mostly him. So where, well, he smiles, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Kyoko kind of had a child with Boruto that had kind of yellowish and purple highlights, but yeah. This is where, well, this girl didn't really mind of fighting that much, but she didn't really want to fight that much. This is where, well, as if with Boruto, kind of, their child was a girl that had kind of lightish, bluish eyes, but of course one being darker a little bit. But of course her hair kind of was more kind of more bluish, like her mother. But yeah, of course she is able to use an ice style that was kind of white ice, able to use white ice, be able to freeze anything entirely with just one touch of her hand. This is where, well, another child was with what's it called, Kurosuke, and there was two, and of course these two children, one was a guy, one was a girl. One of them had both of them had blonde hair, but some of them had lightish blonde hair. But of course, they were, well, one of them was able to have the white eye, well, mostly Jogan, but some with the white eye. Same with what's it called, one of the children with Sumari. But of course, they were, well, the girl was able to have the Jogan while the guy had to have the white eye. Of course, his lightning was way stronger. He was able to use golden and white lightning together. Of course, that was the same with Furusuki and Baruto's daughter, that was able to use kind of a very strong lightish blue lightning, but also golden lightning at the same time. This is where, well, Baruto then had the last child with Erza. This is where Erza says, wow, didn't actually expect it to happen. This is where, well, Baruto says, yeah, that happened. The child happened to have, well, kind of like blondish hair, but of course like a highlights of like neo blue hair and kind of white hair mostly. And of course it was a guy, and of course it had pale eyes, well, one being the Jogan, one being the pale eye, and then, well, mostly, yeah. And of course it were, well, it did have the Jogan, but it also did have what's called a Renegon that could activate it. Now the Renegon was kind of the opposite color from, well, so think about this. It's fully black, but it has rings around it to be kind of white. That has, well, kind of like white tomoes in it. It had like 9 tomoes in it, but yeah. Of course, this is called the running pale white eye, so that's what it's called. And of course, this is where Baruto is kind of happy. Now, of course, this is where, well, Erza, she can live long, and Baruto can do the same. Everyone else can do the same, because Baruto, he's able to kind of define death a little bit. Well, not a little bit, a lot mostly, but yeah. Baruto is now just living happily in this world. He has now conquered this world and conquered a bunch of 5 great nations. He is now the ruler of this world. This world, well, he is considered to be the king of this world. Baruto H. Bryan is now the king. This is where we go into somewhere else. Somewhere that someone's watching. This is where, well, he is laughing, saying, ha, 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 ha. It seems that he was able to achieve his goals. This is where someone else appears, and kind of a bluish electricity vortex appears. This is where, well, the person steps out, wearing a black kind of cloak entirely. This is where, well, his eyes show to be a bright, turquoise, lightish blue eye in the middle, and while being with black, kind of oozing some darkness and crackling lightning. This is where I said, I see. So you gave someone your powers. A couple of, well, so a small bit of powers into Baruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Hyuga, I should mention. Didn't expect it to be so given. Father. This is where the person says, seems that you was too late to kind of stop me, son. This is where, well, I said, well, I don't really would stop you. Instead, it's a very interesting situation. Why would I stop you? Instead, I was kind of enjoying this battle and fight, and interesting how it went out. But don't you dare do something stupid like this again. You wouldn't known if the boy was too unstable to do it. This is where, well, the person laughs and says unstable is the best way to kind of be able to give him. This is where I say, whatever. This is where I make the portal and disappear from this kind of dimension. The place says, well, the person says, well, I will one day be free from this place, and you won't be able to stop me, son. This is where we go into Boruto, and Boruto is just happy. And, well, this is the end of this What If. The end of What If Boruto Was Neglected, Part 6. Yes, I was going to end it, and I did mention it, but yeah. Other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. Anything else you want to mention? If you want to imagine what happened next, you can do that. But whatever. I'm gonna end it off. Bye bye. Yeah, bye.